Hi ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hello.
Are you all set for tonight?
Affirmative.
Well, great, because we are going to go talk with Mortignis, or as he is known in the Emerald Dream server forums, the Wriggler. And we'll find out why he's known as the Wriggler and everything else about his RP. It's a very interesting and sort of creepy RP. And so if you're not into creepy RP, this is not this is not the episode for you. So fair warning, folks. It is a little dark and it is a little creepy, but it is also, if I can get it out, a very unique style of RP. And so we are gonna once again we're gonna go put on our Forsaken Mage disguise, and we are gonna go talk with thank you with Mortignis, the Wriggler. Alrighty, folks, and here we are in the sepulcher with Mortignis behind us, the Wriggler, and we're going to get right to the interview. Despite Turwinkle's objections to having to put on the disguise once again, we are here. So let us, without further ado, get to this wonderful interview. Alrighty, folks, here he is, Mortignis, the shiny example of a brand new guild called NERDS, or Nerds. Mortignis of the Horde. He's a level 90 undead warlock. Hello, sir.
Hi there, Turwinkle.
And how does this evening find you, sir?
I'm feeling really good tonight. Extra morbid.
Oh, well, yes, I could see that. We are in a graveyard after all, in the sepulcher here in the Silver Pine Forest. So, well, it's wonderful that we've got you here tonight, and we get to learn all about your fine character here, Mortignis.
Well, thank you, Turwinkle. I really enjoy you and your YouTube channel and Turwinkle's Adventures. I've watched quite a few episodes, and I like the way you interview people. I really like the effort, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. So, Mortignis, how did you come up with that name?
It's Latin for dead and fire, Mort Ignis.
Oh, wonderful. So you actually looked that up and pulled that out to make.
Google Translate, yeah.
Oh, okay. So in order to make the character, you form the name around it, or did you make the name first and then form your character to that?
This simply the fact I thought that Mortignis would be a very good warlock name because as an undead warlock, I was originally a Worgen warlock, and I switched over, and that's when I really started to RP. But Mortignis is just simply I like it because my character's dead and fire. It should be that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent name because again, you're not going to find that anywhere else, and so it's very unique as well. So that's awesome. And so, what kind of RP do you do with him? Is it heavy RP, medium, light?
It's it if you see my character in the world, it's heavy RP. If you see me in the trade chat channel, I'm gonna be nuts. I go in trade chat and I will just. I'm not in character. But when you're any channel other than guild chat or trade chat or defense or anything like that, I'm in character. So if you walk up to me at any time and you start trying to RP with me, I'm going to RP fully. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out a little bit about the history of Mortignis. So we'll be right back with. Alrighty, folks, and we're back. And so, Mortignis, what is your background story?
Mortignis was a human, of course. He was an archaeologist on an expedition in Northrend, and they were digging through mysterious ruins, which he now recognizes as Yogg-Saronnian ruins. Once he was with his friends, and well, I mean, not exactly friends, but his fellow colleagues, working away at the stone, and they opened up one of the chambers to the ruins, and within them he found horrible, writhing black, just wriggling black horrors. Just eventually, I mean, it's essentially a faceless one. Uh, in the actual story I've sort of put together is they're just pitch black ooze, shining, reflecting, just little. Imagine little alien, the little alien chest bursters from the movie Alien.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. Uh, Essentially, he ran from those back to his expeditionary forces at the coast, as close as he was, and they followed him in a big black trail of disgusting ooze. And every time they would devour a person, he would just keep running in horror, and it was just terrible. It was horrifying, and it was something he could not explain. Uh, Eventually, he got back to his quarters and tried to hide, but they swarmed him, and they ate all his friends and left him to die and freeze. And then one day he awoke and he found his tongue was missing. And eventually, this little black writher came out of his mouth, and that's his tongue now. And he tries to speak with it. However, he is a the actual word is otorhinolaryngologist. He became a doctor just to study the tongue, and he realized it's not even a tongue to start with. And that's pretty much the
Okay.
background
Wow.
story.
Wow. Okay. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about this type of RP that Mortignis is using. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, we're back. And so, Mortignis, you have a unique type of RP, and it's basically, I don't know, you'd kind of classify it as horror or
Body
more
horror.
body horror RP.
Right. I try my best to make stories where Mortignis is capturing people, torturing them, and then using his tongue in different ways, in horrifying ways. The tongue in itself, it's more of a it's an insanity, and at the same time, it's a physical embodiment. It tortures people. The tongue. Just imagine Japan, okay, and tentacles. Okay, I'll go that far. That's as far as I'll go. It's just disgusting. It's a tongue that can grow, and he's completely. It's prehensile. He can move it. He can. It's very hard to keep this G. uh, G rated. It's just like he tortures people. I go into very great detail to what he's doing. He he's a flesh shaper. He harvests tongues. He one time he made a flesh golem completely made out of vocal cords, eyeballs, and tongues,
Okay.
uh, simply to scare people.
Alrighty. So what drew you to this type of RP?
Uh, well, I really wanted to scare people, and I wanted to make people think. And in a lot of the RP, it's kind of like mindless ranting of an insane person. I try to make it sound like me myself, the actual person typing it is completely insane to type it all out. And people actually ask me, "Are you insane? Do you have schizophrenia or something?" They actually ask me. I'm like, "No, well, mission accomplished." Just trying to be as creepy and scary as possible.
Okay. Well, folks, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about Mortignis's RP history, and we'll get into that. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty. So, Mortignis, what is your role-playing history in World of Warcraft?
Well, I've been on Emerald Dream, an RP PvP server, for about 6 years. I started off wanting to RP by watching an alliance guild called Kingship of the East, and they were very hardcore RP and PvP. Uh, I really like the idea of RP and PvP together, which was why I was in the guild Shadows of Lordaeron, which was a all undead RP PvP guild, and I was an officer in that, and I recently left. But
Oh, why did you leave?
I just felt it was they were giving me promises that they didn't really completely fulfill, and the GM had things on his plate at the time too, and he's in school and he had things to do, so he couldn't really focus as much time on the guild.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of people have left.
And
A
so,
couple of the officers have left.
sure. And so you've started your own guild, and so talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's kind of an inside joke. Uh, my girlfriend always calls me a nerd, so I was like, why not just make a guild called Nerds? And um, me myself, when I play the game, I kind of try to play with the most amount of satire as I possibly can, because I just find it's fun. It's like close to trolling, but it's just fun to play with satire. And in fact, Mortignis himself is sort of just like RP satire, the most extreme you can go. Yet I'll try my best to make it all so so concrete that people have to accept it.
Oh, okay.
It's yeah.
So will your guild be an RP guild or?
It's just a filler guild right now. It's just we made it yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's
Yeah,
brand new. Excellent.
brand new. Yeah.
So what got you interested in playing WoW?
Well, I broke my leg and I had time to kill.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And so did you buy the game or a friend say, "Hey"?
I My friends played it. They said, "Hey, you should try it." I didn't know what server they were on or anything, but Emerald Dream was a big. I'm like, "Hey, this is a high population server. I should play on it," and I played on it.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Well, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, what we are going to do is learn a little bit about Mortignis in real life. So we'll be right back with that. All right, we're back, folks. And again, what we're going to talk about next is Mortignis in real life. And again, the real reason why we do this is to break those stereotypes of what an RPer looks like in real life. They're not all, 40 years old, living in mom and dad's basement, eating Cheetos all day. So there are all types of people that RP. And so, Mortignis, can you tell us a little bit about you? What can you share with us?
I'm a college student. I'm trying to do electrical engineering, and I have time on my hands, and I'll RP during it and play WoW and do stuff. And uh, I I mean, I try to be my best. I try to be a nice person. I know my RP does not reflect who I really am, but it just I kind of it's a little bit of inspired. It's kind of inspired off my life. Like it's not directly, but it's just the thoughts I've had about life sometimes. If you look in the RP, you'll find things, and it's not always RP. I'll make posts about things, but it's stuff. It's just stuff that you deal with every day, and it's kind of like stress. It's just stress. Everyone's got stress. Everyone's got problems. Everyone's got so much on their plate. This
And,
is getting a little too deep.
well, sure. Do you find that RPing relieves some of that stress?
RP is a good way to get to express yourself. A
Sure.
very good. You can. I mean, some people can do it and be like, "Oh, I'm a superhero," or like, "I'm a." You get something out of it that you
Right.
can't really
Right.
be. Right. Right.
So, do you like horror stories and that sort of thing? Then, are you a
I
fan of Stephen King and
I am a fan of Stephen King. I love horror stories. I love the movie It. I love just the creepiest body horror, the creepiest fear. I love the name. I love fear. I love macabre. I love just horror, just disgusting. Like rah, like
Okay, so
why? What makes you tick when you're? Why are you scared of it? Irrational fears, like
sure.
clowns. I don't know.
So, are you able to use some of the stuff you read in your RP, or do you? Uh, I mean, does that
Um,
does that help you?
yes, it does. It actually it helps me think of scenes and it makes me think of like just the background, just like what motivations for things, like what would scare you? What would what would what would scare anyone? What could scare anyone?
Sure.
Like it's in the RP. There's stories about humiliation, just body horror. It's just
Sure.
creepy crawly. I don't. It's
Well, excellent.
gross.
So, do you have any other games that you play besides WoW, like D&D or
I
any
don't
other
play.
MMOs?
I don't play any other MMOs. I'm a Steam fiend. I love all the I love Steam. Great place to get games. I play
Sure.
plenty of those games.
Sure. What other games do you play?
Team Fortress 2. I got a whole I mean, it's just a huge library. I kind of waste money on it. Uh, it's I don't know. I'll take a quick look. Like Left 4 Dead, of course. It's all made by Valve. Valve Games, of course. I got like LA Noire, um, classic games, Psychonauts,
Oh, sure.
indie games, stuff like Limbo, Grand Theft Auto series, Chivalry's fun, Dead Space 2, all those. Dead
Sure.
Space is fun. Dead Space is definitely fun. You could say that's good for the RP.
Okay. Now, is there any other hobbies that you have besides gaming?
Um, mm, Kind of hard. No.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Well, wonderful. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to learn about Mortignis's current storyline and a little bit more about his RP style and some advice that he has for new RPers out there. So, we'll be right back with. Alrighty, and we are back, folks. And so, Mortignis, I know your current storyline is you're kind of in exile right now, getting the guild all set up and stuff, but how has Emerald Dream received your RP? Do you find most people are accepting, or
Uh, I've had conflicts in the past because I'm sort of a persistent person. I will keep doing it, and I try to keep on going and going and going. And some people describe me as a smart aleck when it comes to chat, but I try to keep things not I try to diffuse conflicts. I don't really like to keep people nagging on me, but my RP, uh, a lot of people like it. Probably because I it's very unique.
it, it
That's
re-
possibly, yeah.
right? It really is, and uh, and I'll be the first one to admit it. For me, it was creepy. And it was also funny at the same time. I know for Turwinkle, we'd
It's
put
funny. It's funny.
sure,
It's tongue in cheek. It's tongue in cheek, honestly.
yeah, we would put a post up in the forums, and you would have some wriggling to do, and
Hmm.
uh, and some of it would creep me out, and but again, I would sit back and have to laugh as well, and so I think you do an excellent job at making something that's unique, and again, definitely creepy, and so. I imagine there's a lot of people, and I've had a lot of requests. You got to interview the Wriggler, Turwinkle. Interview the Wriggler, and so I've had a lot of requests from people uh, that are fans of the wriggling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to brag or anything, but a lot of people have told me they like me. I've got a couple of familiar people. I couldn't name. There's a ton of them. Uh, I'd miss some, and they wouldn't like that, so I'm not gonna go there. Um,
But
uh,
no, it really you've I think carved a niche for yourself with doing something that again is unique, and sometimes people gravitate towards that, and I think that is something that could be well said for a unique and clever idea with the RP. It's not your typical, I'm a shining paladin, or I'm a evil Death Knight. It's something that is completely unique to the server, and so again, I think that's what makes it most interesting. And what you'll find with a lot of RP out there is that people are that role play have very creative mind when it comes to this kind of thing. And so I think you've done an excellent job in coming up with a wonderful RP, as creepy as it is.
Thank you.
You bet. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to get some advice from Mortignis for you new RPers out there. So we'll be right back with that. All right, and we're back, folks. And so, Mortignis, what advice would you have for someone that sees this episode and says, oh, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. I have an idea I would like to RP. What advice would you give them?
Well, it's like acting, really. It's trying to act, but at the same time you need to be social because the person you're RPing with is there, and they are making decisions as it goes. It's not easy to just jump in, and because there's a lot of like hoops and bounds, like lore-wise, like there's certain things you can't really do. Like I'd say like it's a cliche thing would be blue-eyed blood elves. Force like it's I'm a dragonkin, and it's like it's those things you want to avoid. You want to make sure you stick to the base. I mean, you want to be creative. Just be creative, really, and try to make it your own thing. Try to be unique. Try to just. It's very hard for the new people to just jump in because you don't quite know what exactly you could just say. You need to kind of think about it. You need to have experience, sort of. I mean, anyone could do it. You could really have anyone do it. Anyone could. It's just like making small talk, really, sometimes. And then when you do the storyline things, it might take a little bit more thought and your character, developing your character, and you want to document things. A good thing would be documenting things.
Okay.
What,
Sure. Sure, and that's excellent advice, especially thinking about taking some time to think about, your storyline is very, very important, I think. You want to be prepared to answer questions about your character. And so sometimes having that stuff either written out or formulated beforehand really, I think, goes a long ways in helping you to create and develop the character that you want to have. And again, I think sticking to lore, for a lot of people, that's going to make the most easy transition into RPing, I think, because again, you're not having to defend something that you really can't defend lore-wise. And so excellent advice, sir. And so I guess that leads into the next question, especially for you, because I know you've had a lot of people that do not like your RP. And so what would you say to someone that has, they're getting a lot of flack? How do they stay positive about their character?
Well, first of all, you want to make sure if people are telling you something and you're getting a lot of the same consistent complaint, like something's like lore wrong, something's wrong with the lore, you want to change that. You want to change you might have to settle. Sometimes you'll have to settle because you want something, but it's impossible. It's just like a lore. Like I had a friend who wanted to be a part of the the cult of the damned, but wanted to be accepted in society. It's something like that. It's like it sounds great, but you can't do it, sadly. You might have to settle for something kind of like it, and do the same RP. It's a thing too. Is you want if a thing with my character too is if I'm too aggressive with it, it might sound impossible and might almost seem like you don't want to RP with them because it's too ridiculous. It's too much. It's not close enough to the lore. It's kind of alienated. Things like that. You want to
Sure.
make sure you've got something that anyone could catch on to. Kind of like my RP. I try to make it human, like a human quality that someone could relate to.
Sure.
You want to have something someone could relate to somehow. It's something someone could um, talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. Something discussable. You'd like to talk about. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, folks, so when we come back, we're going to get some final thoughts with Mortignis. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back with Mortignis. And, sir, so is there anything else you would like to cover about Mortignis that we haven't talked about in the interview tonight?
Um, One thing, if anyone has not heard of Mortignis's RP stories, perhaps like if on the forums exactly, or even RP, I mean, yeah, you get it. Um, the word wriggle is used countless times. The word wriggle is sort of Mortignis uses it as a philosophical meaning. The word wriggle, like wriggle, just you could. I don't know. Examples would be he wrote a story on wriggles through the universe and wriggles that rebound and reflect upon our meanings and thoughts, and they wriggle and wriggle, like just the word wriggle to replace other words, like instead of using, it's like there was a wave in the ocean, it was a wriggle in the ocean, it wriggled through, and it wriggled, my words right now are wriggling through my microphone, through the computer and into your ear, and then wriggling your mind. Like just like wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Pretty much. That's an important note. That's a very important part of the RP.
Okay.
The word wriggle.
Excellent.
He wriggles his tongue. He wriggles his tongue a lot.
Yes, he does. Well, excellent. And again, there are a lot of people that follow, I think, Mortignis specifically for the wonderful writings that you do have, especially in the forums. And again, they're very unsettling, but I think they're very unique and very creative. And so I always enjoy seeing that kind of stuff out there. That again, that unique, that creative. It's something that is not done a lot. And I think you have quite a following of Wrigglers out there that really enjoy the RP that you're putting out. So excellent job, sir.
Thank you again.
You bet. So, folks, when we come back, Turwinkle is going to give his farewells to Mortignis for the night. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, and we are back, and we are joined by Mango, the I Love Mort of Nerd, and she's a level 79 Blood Elf Paladin, and is your girlfriend in real life.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's good that she came to watch the interview. And what a fantastic mount. I'm loving this mount. I wouldn't object to you giving me this mount, sir.
I'm afraid not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is just a wonderful mount. I certainly really like that. That is glorious, sir. Well, folks, Turwinkle and I would definitely like to say Mortignis here has been very kind to answer all our questions here tonight. And again, it has been a pleasure talking with you. We've talked a little bit back and forth on the forums and a little bit on Sorrow Show, and it's just been a great time tonight. Get to learn all about Mortignis and some of the background on him. So thank you very much, sir.
Anytime, Turwinkle.
You bet. We look forward to seeing how nerds come along in the future, and maybe getting you and Mango in on a Relationship RP episode sometime down the line.
Sure thing.
Well, excellent. So, folks, what we're going to do is we will see Turwinkle back safely in the hinterlands with his final thoughts on this great episode of Turwinkle Talks with Mortignis.
Watch your back.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we made it safe and sound back to Chillwind Camp here. And so, Turwinkle, let us give Mortignis a wonderful thank you.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
Certainly. We had a great time learning all about his fantastic RP. And so, again, folks, if you liked this episode, click that like button. If you would like to comment on this episode or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and let us know what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. Just hit that subscription button today. Well, Turwinkle, excellent questions as always, sir. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. Bye-bye.